Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic evening. Thank you for joining. And I'd like to just tell you a little story. I had a conversation with my dad last night, and he said, people might not know what you do. And me assuming that I've been doing this for so many years that everybody knows what I'm doing. So for all the new people that are joining on our stream today, I would like to just say that what I do is, first and foremost, I'm a husband, I'm a father of two. I'm a husband to my wife Evelyn, and I'm a father of two teenagers. And then what I do to make an income is first and foremost, I'm a cameraman. So I film people, I make pretty pictures with all different cameras. I work in documentaries, television inserts, commercials. And then I also produce content for certain production houses. I direct, and we also have a studio in Pretoria in conjunction with a company called Brits Films. My business partner Peter Brits runs that part of the business, and we do high-end productions and live streaming. And this is what we do. I hope that helps you to understand. And for all the students joining, welcome from AFTA and the students from the film school in Joburg. And as promised, we have a real live journalist, a real live investigative journalist, and also a mother and a wife. There she is, Devi. Good morning, Devi. How are you doing?
How's it, morning? Good, and you?
Yeah, under the circumstances, I think I'm doing well. I think I'm coping. I've got absolutely all my ways of earning an income has come to an halt. But there's other opportunities, as we know. There's other opportunities that have come up. And what have you been busy with?
I've been busy with lots of things. I keep saying to myself, why is it when COVID-19 was going to China, I had this idea that it wasn't going to get here. I had this idea it was somebody else's problem, stupidly,
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's a way of just trying to cover things up. So I've been busy. I'm on a new television adventure. You remember I resigned from Carte Blanche after 18 years in January.
Wow. Yes.
Such an emotional decision. Huge. So
Yeah.
I'm busy putting things together now for the new adventure.
Yeah, I fondly remember yourself, Joy, and myself running around South Africa trying to chase down the Gupta story, which was. Do you remember them filming them in their offices?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
a surreal experience. And
I have this memory of you because we were going to all the coal-fired power stations, remember? And it was pouring over an entire day, and you were on your motorbike.
Yes.
And just zipping around, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, trying to get. I remember us getting lost at some point. We just.
They all looked the same.
I went one way, you guys went another way, and I got lost, and you got lost, and we eventually got together, and we got the story together, man. Devi, how are you and your family coping with this lockdown?
I think there was a huge adjustment in the first week because we're not really used to all of us being under the same roof all the time. I mean, that's the reality now.
Yes, you're right.
So I think we've learned to now just be more respectful of each other's spaces and places. And there's a routine. That's the only way to do it. The first week was really difficult because it was a new kind of normal and nobody knew what it is they were supposed to have done. So now you do chores, you get your exercise done, you help out with cooking. It's actually in a way been a wonderful learning curve, especially for my kids. I've got two teenagers. My daughter turns 19. She finished matric last year. And Sayuran is 16. So they've been learning a lot of skills that they didn't have before.
How was the deep fried hot wings or the fried hot wings last night? I think that's what you were making, that you and Hendrik were discussing.
One, it was fantastic. It's the first time I've ever made deep fried chicken ever in my entire life. And I got this recipe and I thought, well, I hope it works out. It worked out brilliantly. I'm going to be putting it online a bit later. Because, of course, that's what my children are missing, right? And you know
Yeah,
I cook well,
yeah,
but
yeah. I know.
yeah,
Yeah, I do.
they're not missing my food.
No, I heard last night they're missing the deep fried chicken of the takeaways. That's
Hey, what is that?
I don't know. We have pizza every Friday evening, and that's and I think that gives mom the or whoever's making supper, it just gives everybody a break in actually making supper and just going fetching something. And I'm sure we like it as much as they do, because it gives us a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And we can just sit back and have it out of a box. Dev, what are you busy? I mean, I obviously you can only divulge as much as you are allowed to at this point. But tell us about your new ventures, or tell us about what you are able to tell us.
Well, no, I can't say all that much, apart from saying that it is a new television adventure. COVID-19 happened in the middle of it, but in a way, it's given me an opportunity to, because my team and I, we're all working remotely. So we have a daily editorial. We're pitching stories. We're all having an idea of what the new adventure is going to look like. So it's been a bit of a respite, really. It is frustrating though, because I'm really itching to get back to work, as I'm sure you are. Once television bites, it bites hard.
Yeah, that actually goes straight to my point. Is something that we as crew and maybe yourself as in front of the camera have abruptly realized, is that if you weren't geared for this, we're not ready. There's nothing you can do to go out and shoot anything right now. And this lockdown has become it's like a pressure cooker, and I keep on saying it's like a red light. The content needs to be produced, and we're all in pre-production, but the crew is sitting in a, I don't know, it's like a pressure cooker. We want to just go out and shoot,
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, because you can have all the ideas, but until lockdown is lifted, and I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But then it's also made me realize that I've got to look inwards, and because we can't just sit at home now and look at each other. Look what you've done. I mean, you've got your own talk show now, Monet.
Yeah.
Actually,
you're right.
You beat me. You beat me. You have your own talk show.
Thanks, Devi.
You did something about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this was born out of what to do, keeping your mind busy, keeping your network alive, and speaking to people that that you've been acquainted with for many, many years, and hearing what they're going through, what interesting thing. Because I think if you just sit down and you just don't do anything, you are gonna just, I think you wouldn't know what other people are doing, and you just, I think two heads are always better than one, two brains thinking of things.
Yeah.
And that has come, that's how this has come to realize. Devi, in your doings, what have you come up with? I mean, what are you, if you've got any words of encouragement for people out there, what have you figured out?
So I've been really lucky, because I mean, I've worked as a journalist, and I mean, it's now 27 years. It's a long time. Carte Blanche, 18 years. But apart from all of that, I've always had an insight into the world of business. So, I also do a lot of MC work and moderate panel discussions. And I find business really interesting. I always have. And the one thing that I've learned over a period of time is that businesses really grow in bad times. So it sounds like, how can a business grow in bad times? Well, in good times, we're all busy chewing the fat. You see, we're lazy. You don't need to innovate, really, because everyone's getting paid a 13th check and everybody seems to be really happy. It's in tough times that you start innovation. So, and we must always remember that. And it's something that works not only for business, it works for ourselves in our own lives. Your example is a perfect one. You would never have started a talk show in good times, because we'd be chewing the fat.
Yeah. Exactly.
So once we understand that that's what it is, something happens in your head and you do this, Something changes in the way you think, and you start
Yeah.
looking for opportunities. I know there's a lot of worry. People are concerned. How are you going to pay bonds, school fees? What happens to the academic year? What happens to our jobs? But for once in our lives,
The
guys,
fly.
for once, yeah, I saw it. For
There's a
once,
bloody
for once
fly.
in our
Sorry.
for once in our lives, um, it's not within our control. We can only control what happens within our four walls now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, I keep on losing my train of thought when you're talking because I have so many ideas that are running around in my head. And specifically, what you're saying, I've been thinking about doing this for a very long time. But the one thing that I was missing was time. And
Yeah.
the moment I got time, this idea came up again, and I thought, okay, now let me do this. And I was thinking, okay, now you put all the barriers in place. How am I going to do it? Oh, am I good enough? Oh, I'm not good looking enough. How are people going to be part of it? And I think it's about taking that first step. So, if anybody else out there has got an idea or a thing they want to do, take that first step, because you'll only learn if it fails, and if you fail, you know how to do better and make it work. And it doesn't have to be expensive, man. It doesn't have to be an expensive exercise. And yeah, people that need to pay their bonds, we all need to pay our bonds. People that need to buy food, we all need to buy food. We're all in different economic levels of life, but we're all in it to win it at this point.
And we're all in it together. You know, it's like for a long time, it was always the bad news story about South Africa. And we were always on our own there in the Southern Hemisphere, causing drama and things not always going well. For the first time, even in our lives, everybody's having the same problem. The whole world. It's not just about us.
I agree. Yeah, no, it is so. And it's such a weird thing to digest, because it's like you said, that first week, it was, what is going on? This can't be. What the hell? What's going on? You know,
I felt like I was in a movie.
Yes. How do you deal with this? Yeah. And and I think slowly but surely it was the most abnormal thing to be not being able to move around. I mean, that's such a fundamental part of our job and part of our world. You cannot move.
Yeah.
Now you cannot move. It was such a mind shift.
But we shifted, you see? For me, you know what was the big thing? You know what was the big thing for me? When that first loaf of bread ended, and we needed to get another loaf of bread. And then I suddenly thought, where's the bread going to come from? So we're going to have to do without bread. And I remembered a loaf I'd put in the freezer, and I've never frozen bread before. And then suddenly frozen bread became the new normal for toast. Made a plan. There's the bread.
When that milk ran out, when that butter ran out, it was, you're right. It's exactly that. And now you've got to go out and into the world with a thing. Look what Omar made us yesterday. Sorry, I have to show you this. My mother-in-law made a.
Oh, that's Monet. That is so cute. That is so cute.
She made that now. So that was, gave us to me.
Very clever.
We went to go and buy groceries for her yesterday, and she gave us each one, because she was sitting there, with her needle and thread. Yeah, it was quite cool. Devi, I've run out of questions for you, but I mean, we can talk for hours and hours and hours about what we did and how we went about it and things like that. What else do you think? What else do you think people should be doing in this time? I know you said routine. There, earlier you said there's lots of free seminars and things happening on
webinars.
What are you doing? Webinars, yeah.
So I divide my day. I'm working on the new project for most of it, but I've been trying to squeeze in webinars, at least 2 in a day. And I've learned so many new things, because for the first time, you've got a group of very intelligent people who are masters in their own field, who are willing to share their thoughts for free. We'll never get that again.
Yeah, you're right.
So take advantage of it. Learn something new, and it may spark or ignite a little fire in you for a side hustle that you may want to start at some point, or You may even decide, well, I don't like my job anymore and I want to do something completely different. But irrespective, it's going to get you to dust all the cobwebs out from your head. We all have them. We all get stuck in these terrible patterns of behavior and routine gives us comfort, but we can't waste the time, because for the first time we have time. If you asked me to do this, if you asked me to do this 2 months ago, I would have said, Monet, are you off your head?
What are
There's
you?
no
I'm too
time.
busy.
I'll be on a shoot. There'll be 100 million other things to do. That would never have happened. And you taught me something. So, when you first asked me to do this, I said, but Monet, I'm not sure. I'm busy. There's other things. And then as I continued talking to you, I realized, what are you saying? You're busy. Yes, you're busy. We know you're busy, but you're not that busy like you used to be before. So I thought, I'm going to learn something from Monet. I'm going to come on his show. I'm going to see how it does it. And then maybe it's going to spark something else off in my head.
Yeah.
So thanks, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being an acquaintance, a friend, a colleague, and thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate your words of encouragement, and good luck with the recipes. I one day we will do. Here's my finger. One day we'll do a cooking show when you have more time, because you've got amazing recipes. Yes.
Can I tell your viewers something about you?
Yes.
So there's two things about Monet, right? One, we've spent a lot of time in the car together, going up and down provinces, crossing provinces, sometimes 3-4 provinces in a day and a half, 2 days. The one thing that I've always loved about you is that you still laugh at my jokes, even if you've heard it before. I know you did that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, you've been nagging me for years to do a cooking show.
Yes.
Years. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Maybe 2 days, but we'll get there.
And there's a few things I'd like to tell the viewers about Devi is, contrary to popular belief, Devi always rides in her BMW with a pillow, because she's so short she can't see over the steering wheel.
Can't see over the steering wheel.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted to say, because the rest is
leave it
secret.
Yeah.
The rest is top secret. Joy's sandwiches are always the best when we go on the long trips,
Yes.
Yeah. Devi, thank you so much. I really appreciate I really appreciate you, and thank you very much for joining us on here. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, guys, you know what? Let's just get on with it now. Day 20, day 21, day 23, day whatever. Those days will keep coming. Just have a mission and let's get things done. At the end of this, we're going to be even more brilliant than we are already. Ha.
I agree. I agree. We're only going to grow out of our comfort zone when we do stuff out of our comfort zone, and that's where we'll grow. Devi, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You're welcome.
Thank you for giving me the time to spend with you in your house, in your library, in your office. And good luck, and we look forward to seeing you on the telly again. I mean, we were all wondering what you're busy with, and you disappeared, but we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Soon. Take care, Monet. Lovely to see you after so long.
Cool, man. See you, Devi. Keep well, man. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye. Devi, what a fantastic human to be able to join us, and we're excited to see what she comes up with in the near future. Guys, there's something I'd like to share with you, something very interesting from Netflix that I saw recently. I saw it yesterday. I think they built this fund for their crew. Look at that. Netflix. This was done on the 20th of March, 2020. Ashley Rodriguez posted this thing. Netflix has created $100 million fund to help their workers. And I saw something on Facebook yesterday where some crew in South Africa was saying that they were getting paid. Some crew overseas were saying they're getting paid. So this is not false. This is actually happening. Here's some statements. With TV and film productions being halted globally, Netflix is setting up a relief fund for crew members and other people involved in production who are now without work. Another thing, the streaming company announced on the 20th of March that they've created a $100 million relief fund for people involved in their productions, and so forth and so on. So you can just go and have a look at this. It's a website that you can go and surf yourself. You can go and see. Let me just put that link up for you so you can see there as well. The link is over here. I think it's that one, Business Insider. So just go and search. I mean, Netflix pays their employees. I mean, it's a Google search, you'll find it. And then another thing I'd like to share with you is this thing that's happening actually right after this show. Oh man, what am I doing? Sorry. I'll just share the screen here with you guys. This thing's happening right after this thing at past. In about 10 minutes, there's a webinar happening between, is it Gavin Sharples and Mike Anderson? They're interviewing each other. Let me just get that full screen again. You guys can see this. So they discuss all sorts of interesting things in business and some key strategies around success during COVID-19. I think it's important that you guys go and look at this, go and see what's possible. Yeah, it's happening in literally 10 minutes, 13 seconds. So go and see it. I know it's a bit short notice, but yeah. Brandon, thank you for joining us. Are we chatting tomorrow to Brandon Orette, movie star and South African good guy and bad guy in the movies? He's going to give us some insight into what actors and what actors are going through at this point. Nico, thank you for joining us as well again on the Facebook. You've become a loyal viewer. And let me just take this away. Yeah, and there we have it, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, I encourage you guys to not sit and do nothing. Keep your mind active, call people. I thought about something yesterday, which might be interesting, is if you go through your phone book on your phone, oh man, just take that away. And take this away. Sorry. What am I doing? I'm going to tell you now what I was thinking. Right. I was thinking yesterday, if you go through your phone book, I mean, if you literally go through your phone book and you start calling people and just asking them how they're doing. Ask it, dude, what you up to? No, well, have a conversation with somebody. Phone your dad, phone your mom, phone your grandmother, phone your mother-in-law, phone a person in the industry. I mean, let's, I don't know, just phone. You got, how many contacts do you have? How much airtime do you have? How much, just let's have conversations. Keep on phoning people, man. Wimpy, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your words of encouragement. Aaron, my cousin, how you doing, bro? You in the lounge? In my lounge, yeah. Thank you for joining, Aaron. Aaron is a sound guy. Traveled with him extensively in North Africa. And what an amazing person to have on set. Just always smiling, always open to new things, always, he just is the life of the set. And I enjoy his company you fantastic. Wimpy, on the other hand, is a very accomplished DOP. We worked, we've been working, I think he's also been doing this for 26 odd years, same as me. Yeah, thank you, Wimpy, for dialing in. And Wimpy is also a freelancer, sitting in the same boat as all of us. And that's the one thing that I haven't got the answer for yet, is how do you create an income when your movement has been restricted? And to me, as a cameraman, as a producer, as a director, you physically need to be out there. And I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm not saying I have any new things to share. I need to hear from you. that's why I'm talking to all these people, and I know they've been diverse, from business owners to television presenters to different people in my network. But that's all I could tap into, and I found that people have words of encouragement, firstly, and all of them are saying is, don't sit and worry, do something, do anything. And as Darren, something I've learned from Darren and from the social media perspective is that any content is content. Any content is worth something. Any content is worth doing well. Any content is I mean, just produce anything. A friend of mine, I'll post a link after this, and I think I did it on Facebook this morning. A friend of mine, Eddie Clayton, produced a piece of music earlier in the week, and now they've released something now as well, which is a collaboration between the Philharmonic Orchestra in Johannesburg and the Philharmonic Orchestra in KwaZulu-Natal. And my goodness, what an inspirational piece of music. And he arranged it, he recorded, he did everything. He just do something. Nobody's making anything out of this. Nobody's making anything out of this. If you're not a businessman who has millions and millions and millions in the bank account, you can bet your bottom dollar that all of us who are freelancers, crew, people who have been busy with working in the industry and moving around, everything's come to a grinding halt. Wimpy is saying try and keep in contact with all your suppliers, and then hoping when they will start, everything will. What's running when we are out of this mess? Oh, what the hell? Thing is just screen of mine just keeps maybe. But yeah, we are in the same boat, Wimpy. I agree with you. It's. But I think that is what I'm trying to do, is part of my marketing strategy that I used and I've been using for many years as soon as WhatsApp came out is, and I suppose everybody that you know or anybody who knows me would agree, I send a WhatsApp saying I'm available to shoot, to edit, to direct, to produce for you. Thank you. And I do that on a regular basis. And that does not necessarily bring any money, but it does bring top of mindness, which means that when people are in production, pre-production, they're thinking of who to get for the job. And that's when your WhatsApp comes up, and maybe, just maybe, that's the one that they remember last, and they think, let's get Mornay. I'm not saying I'm the best. Definitely there's people that are way better than me. And I'm not saying I'm God's gift to the production industry, but what Wimpy is saying is keep in contact with your suppliers, and that's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing now. I am using this platform to keep my mind busy for one, and then also I'm using this platform to keep top of mind so people know. And then what's happening by default is that this platform has created a ideas sharing platform between all sorts of it sounds it's sorry, I'm reading the comments while I'm trying to think of you guys. Julian, for sure, when I'm done, let's have a chat, dude. No problem. Julian just asked if he could call me. What is Wimpy saying? What is Wimpy saying? This is some. Oh, something that you learned from me. Yeah, Wimpy, I remember you going freelance. Sure, it was. You've been working at an agency and you went freelance very quickly after. Soon, the middle of this year, or was it last year? And I'm happy that the advice worked. I've given that advice to everybody who listen. There's a sound man that I worked with that says he's not busy, and I said, how many people do you have in your network? How many people do you have in your phone book? Let's say 35, clients. WhatsApp them. Immediately that people will say, listen, stop this, don't do it. Or people will go and say thank you very much. And most of the people that I deal with, and I've over the years, it's become a situation. People say, listen, you are always the first choice. Stop WhatsApping me, and then they will obviously book you because there are clients that trust you and like you and like to work with you. And then there's clients that say thanks for reminding me, and then now and again it becomes a situation where people are like, oh damn, are you available for now? Luckily you WhatsApp me because are you available for this and this and this? And I'd like people to just remember that, and that's my own opinion, and I hope it sits with you guys. Facebook, Instagram, social media. Let's say social media and communication, like WhatsApp, is only a billboard, because I don't think you could conjure up work through social media. But social media is an advertising platform. It's like a billboard next to the road. It's top of mind. You see an MTN billboard. You see a Kellogg's billboard. You see a KFC sign. It's top of mind. It's something that you remember. And I think we can learn from big advertisers in our own worlds where we are freelancers, is to go and be top of mind. But then remember, you got to be able to do the job. It's very important. You cannot sell what you cannot do. And I think that's important for ways to come. Put a thing on Facebook this morning. Does anybody know what this means? What that means? Anybody know what that means? An old army thing. It's called Mindar. Guys, Mindar. And I think it's a important thing to remember that we all have the time right now. And Mindar means we have Mindar to get done what we need to get done, because as soon as this thing's over, we're busy. That's my belief. That's my hope for everybody. And guys, thank you for all the comments. Brandon, we're going to chat tomorrow with Brandon. Julian, I'll chat to you after this. Guys, yes, so don't miss tomorrow. Brandon Orette. As soon as you see him, you'll recognize him. He's a famous movie star. He loves diving. He's a father as well. Lives in Joburg. And we're going to have a good chat with him. And coming up, I've got some interesting people coming up, man. What are you saying, Bradley? Pour me a double joke, Mindar. Pour me a double. No, it's Mindar. But we can make it as pour me a double. I agree with you. Thanks, Brad, for tuning in. Guys, I'm done for today. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. We'll chat to, yes, Julian, you can phone me. Or join me tomorrow when we chat to Brandon. I think I've said that about 50 times now. And and join me on Friday where we dial in with a radio DJ whose birthday it is on the actual day that we're broadcasting. I didn't realize it, but we are speaking to a chap on Friday. I won't divulge his information right now, but it's going to be his birthday. So join me on Friday to wish the individual a birthday. But tomorrow, what day is it today? Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow we're talking to Brandon. I'm going to stop saying that now. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate your time and your comments. Cheers, Vimpy. Thank you very much. And go make something.